All right, everybody, we are being joined now by Coach V. We will open the line for questions unless, Coach, you'd like to make an opening statement.
No, I don't have anything to open up with other than just I know our guys are incredibly excited. It's been a tough and challenging 5 months, and it's pretty surreal that game day is just a few days away. So we're all very, very thankful for the leadership of our university and our athletic department, and most proud of our players for how they've handled all of the things that have come with the last 6 months, 5.5 months, from social justice to the COVID and everything in between. It's been a very emotional and draining, if you will, 5.5, 6 months. But at the same time, there's always good in the middle of the bad, and our guys have done an amazing job at both leading and galvanizing and unifying, through all of this.
We'll open it up for questions.
Hey, Brent, this is Larry Williams. How you doing,
Larry,
man?
good. How are you?
I'm good. It seems like 5 years ago that Skowski got the targeting call in New Orleans. So it was almost surprising to hear last week that he's going to have to sit the first half Saturday. I'm assuming that Jake is the guy there. And what are your sort of, I guess, thoughts on how you go through the first half? Absence?
Yeah, that's the rules in college football where it carries over from that last game. So we've known that, for quite some time, and have made, plans and, how we've practiced and things of that nature through all of our good work. So Jake's ready for the moment. He's gotten some opportunities last year as a redshirt freshman and came in and did some really nice things under pressure and, in mop-up time as well. And he's very focused and serious and about his, responsibilities and his opportunity, and has a great deal of value and respect for the preparation that it takes in the course of a game. And so I'm excited for him. Feel good about not only him, but Kane Patterson and Kevin Swint as well. They've all had nice camps. And Jake's also worked at some, will linebacker, for the last year or so.
Brent, this is Matt Connolly with the State. What did you see from Braden Galloway last year? How did you see him kind of develop as I think you worked with guys on scout teams some. Just what did you see from him?
Well, I think he's always been a very talented guy. He's got length, he can run, super athletic, and I was most proud of Braden coming over on scout team. That's a hard thing, going from an every down player or a very integral part of, an incredible offense to, hey, you're going to go run over there and get screamed at, every day on scout team without getting, the game reps and things like that. So I was really proud of Braden. I think it helped him mature and grow up and have an appreciation and a value for, what it takes to get ready for a game, and the value that you can take away from, the grind every day of improving, working on your fundamentals and your skill set, and certainly your mindset, because we're not letting you hide on scout team. You got to come over and you got to perform and give great effort. And there's a lot of precision that goes with that. And so it starts with having a mature mindset. And he did an incredible job for us. We were really fortunate to have him over as part of that group, and really helped us get better and prepare week in and week out.
Anybody with anything else for Coach?
Hey,
Yeah.
Coach Venables, this is Grace Rayner from The Athletic. I'm just wondering if you could compare and contrast Mario and Andrew Booth kind of skill set wise and what you see there.
Andrew's incredibly high cut, high waisted, really long limbed, twitchy, very physically tough, mentally tough, high wired. To be honest, he's been here, over a year now, and half of it he spent, rehabbing and just not being healthy. And so he's been at a different level in regards to his confidence, his mindset, and then the play follows that. He's had an excellent, camp in particular, and just completely on another planet when it comes to where he is mentally. Some of the things he was struggling through from an injury standpoint a year ago, just, had the surgery to get him better. And then, Mario, his first play, I remember very distinctly, his first play on his high school huddle highlight was a tackle, blow-up tackle. And he's in cover 2 and blows the perimeter run, just blows it up. And I just had a great appreciation for that, just because of, not many DBs have that as their number one play in their highlight video. Usually doesn't make the top 10. So Mario's a physical guy, prides himself on being physical, fundamentally and technique-wise, really sound. And has been a little bit snake bit when it comes to, the injury bug since he's been here, and had a little cleanup job done in late spring and came back and was, again, just his old self. And so another big body guy, but Andrew looks more like he could be a receiver or a safety and corner. Mario looks like a big corner or safety. And, there's probably a few more similarities than there are differences, to be honest with you.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, Brent, Lawton Swan with Clemson Sports Talk. How big of an advantage is it for you guys with the new redshirt rule this year, in your opinion, from a depth of talent standpoint?
Well, you don't have the stress of, quote unquote, burning a guy's year because you want to run him out on the kickoff team, after he's already played his 4th game. I just think from a development standpoint, it gives them a real chance to benefit from it. And whether or not they use the year or not at the back end of their career, this gives them an opportunity. It's a developmental game. The more you play, the better you improve, fundamentally, maturing wise, all of those things, they come back the next year more prepared. So I think, it's going to help a lot of rosters across college football as well as build that depth and feel more confident and comfortable at creating roles for guys. And whether it's sub packages or just, in the 3 deep, if you will. And I think it's a wonderful rule. And again, it most of all, it really benefits the players, but certainly benefits our roster both now and, in the future in developing our players. Makes a lot of sense.
Hey, Coach, this is David Hood. Did those veteran guys at defensive tackle, Tyler and Jordan and Niles and some of those others, did they show you what you wanted to see in camp and kind of hold off the charge of those talented youngsters?
They had their best camps, really made a, significant improvement, and a lot of little things, playing faster and playing, with more knockback and getting better get-offs and improving their fundamentals and their hand violence and pass rush and those things. So the young guys are coming, and they're not going away. But I think more than anything else, I've seen strong leadership and veteran savviness, so to speak, from those guys. But we got a lot of guys that can play more so, this year than we did, we feel, a year ago. And so I think the competition has made everybody better, and just maturing and being here, another season has benefited them, as well.
Brent, those freshman defensive linemen had a lot of expectations coming in. Just what do you expect from them going into their first game, and how did they look going through camp?
Yeah, I mean, our job as coaches is to help them always. And so handling the expectations and not trying to make every play and, help them be good at things that they're good at and give them a steady dose of those things. And but I think this is a group of young players that, the ones in particular that you're talking about are used to playing at a high level, used to the spotlight being on them. And what I can appreciate more than anything about them is just their humility and their willingness to work, keep their head down, very low maintenance, don't get distracted easily. And that's usually what the really good ones do. And just have the right mindset, to come in and work and compete every day and have self-awareness about what they need to get better, and they go to work at that every day as well. It's been a group of guys that have let us coach them really hard and are fighting like tooth and nail every day to meet, what our standards are, as opposed to, hoping that we widen the plate for them. And just really and grateful for that, because you got enough problems, let alone if you had an added problem of just, lack of maturity. And that couldn't be further from the truth. And so just really proud of these guys and excited because they're going to make us better. And, they're not going to be, what they're capable of being game one. They're going to, I think that would be the biggest thing, is don't put too much expectation on them. As coaches, just, hey man, just come in and do your job. You don't have to make special plays or do freaky things. That'll naturally happen, in the right time. So just, again, play, stance, alignment, assignment, key, and you just kind of have that process. And again, that's what I was talking about at the beginning. Just our job as coaches is to help them from a procedural standpoint. How do you play at a high level? How do you have a winning grade one snap at a time? And I really try to simplify it, for them that way. And as they do accordingly, they'll earn, more and more playing time. But excited about these guys. They're going to, like I said, they'll make us better, and they have some tremendous skill sets, and it's been well noticed, and noted from, certainly Coach Sweeney and a lot of our players, both on offense and defense. And it's a group of guys that, that came in with a lot of to-do and a lot of hype and things of that nature, but it's a group of guys that to me have over-delivered up to this point. Their talent's been there, yes. Refinement is still needed in their fundamentals and technique and understanding of what we do. But the most pleasing part is just the humility and their work ethic and their toughness and what great teammates that they are.
Brent, this is Gene in Charleston. Sam Hartman, your thoughts?
Yeah, tough guy, very competitive, tremendous instincts, just a very good feel for the game, great leader, has a real presence about him, no moment's too big for him, athletic, big arm, accurate. He's going to make all the layups for you offensively, and understand the defense and, what the stresses are, things of that nature. So really, to me, a coach's dream. Sometimes you get those guys on the other side of the ball at quarterback, and you can get in their head. I don't see that as he's not a guy that has got any head case issues. He's again a very good football player, very talented, tremendous system player as well. So as coaches, I know what having a system player is. Look, don't try to make all the plays, make the ones that are there for you. You got to make layups. Can't be airballing layups in. And I don't see a whole lot of weaknesses. He had a tremendous year before last, and when he came in last year, man, he just did outstanding. Whether it's the Florida State win, or again, he played out of his mind against Syracuse, and they had every chance to win. They throw a little screen right there in overtime and completes it, and the DB strips it and runs it back for a touchdown. So they lose that game right at the end, a heartbreaker. So that was 2 games after having played here in Death Valley. He got the call there in the Syracuse game, and he's got tremendous respect for him. Did out of high school, played in the Shrine Bowl with my son Jake, and they got to really get to know each other well, and just got a lot of respect for him, who he is as a leader and a player.
Hey, Coach. Lawton Swan again. Communication on game day, it's typically quieter when the offense is on the field, but, I mean, it's really going to be quiet. So not necessarily how that'll work for you guys, but, I mean, do you anticipate being able to hear what they're trying to check to and things of that nature?
It's not as much check to. You just want to communicate with your guys and have them the ability to communicate with each other. So, we haven't worked on any kind of people checking what they're checking to and the verbiage and all that. We got enough things to worry about. We're complicated enough as it is. But the ability to communicate with one another, as coaches to players and certainly players to players, can be advantageous when, it's really hard to play defense, to communicate here in Death Valley in a typical year because how deafening it is. And but that's a tremendous advantage too defensively because offenses have to, operate, differently, as far as their strategy is concerned. So I anticipate it being, easier, quote unquote, than it's been, in my coaching, lifetime.
Brent, with Xavier being out for the start and Justin missing some time, just how do you feel about that defensive end group and the depth you guys have there?
Well, I've seen improvement. Logan Rudolph was a co-starter last year. Broke my heart. He's one of my favorite players on our defense, and been one of my favorite players that we've had since I've been at Clemson, because he's very Ben Boulware-esque when it comes to passion and intensity and love and respect for the game and how he practiced every day and things of that nature. But love the group of guys. Got tremendous ceiling. I do think that there's no question we're improved from where we were a year ago at that position, and we'll be even better when Xavier gets back and healthy. And it's a year, that's more seasoned, whether you're talking, Justin, or you talk KJ or Maskell, for that matter. And Greg Williams has been coming along and learning how to put his hand in the dirt. Had never done that until, last year for the first time. So, I'm excited to see that group. You put Miles Murphy in there as well, who will be, has a chance to be a co-starter as well. And he's right there in that the thick of things. Just lacks the experience and knowledge of the other guys. But we've had those guys, Justin and KJ, sorry about that. I've had really good spring and fall camp, and done a great job leading and fighting and competing every day. So looking forward to seeing those guys, improve and be in a better place this year. And feel like, again, overall that the defensive line, has a chance to be a strength when it's all said and done. But we still got work to do.
Coach Trevor Groves, CUTigers.com here. Coach Clausen's offenses traditionally go very fast. What kind of challenges does that present from a personnel standpoint, rotating your guys in and out? And how important does it make it to, get 3 and outs, get your defense off the field, and prevent fatigue on a night that could be a humid early September night?
Yeah, I mean, they've been one of the fastest offenses in college football. Every year they got a tremendous system. They do a great job of coaching within the system. They're just not trying to go fast and hope you're not lined up. They've got a very systematic way to attack you. Very well coached fundamentally, and players are really smart. They have answers for everything that you do on any given play. They've got an answer for off coverage, for press man, for cover 2, for 3 deep, for 4-man front, 3-man front, all of it. So they just do first of all, they've done, as good a job in this conference since I've been here as anybody, and coaching and developing and putting their players in position to be successful. And I think that's what coaching is. You just don't do what you do to do it, but you got to get your players to play at a high level, within your system, and then again play to their strengths from one year to the next. But from a procedural standpoint, they do go really fast, and a lot of offenses do, but they've been one of the best in the country at doing it year in and year out. and getting into a rhythm offensively and getting you on your heels defensively. So getting your hand in the dirt and playing with great technique and putting your eyes where they belong. That's to me is one way to give yourself a chance. And so that's been a challenge for us, challenge to our guys, and certainly not just this week. Our offense has tempo in their offense as well. And so we do a great job of helping each other, on the practice field that way. But nothing like game day, to get baptized. And so I'm excited. I love that challenge. That's just the challenge of getting your guys to negate, if you will, if tempo is designed to create a leveraged advantage up front or outside in coverage. If it's designed to get you to not line up and put your eyes on your keys, if that's to have bust in your communication, if that's what the tempo's for, then I love the counter of that is, is getting the call, is getting your hand in the dirt, is getting your eyes where they belong, is playing with great technique and fundamentals, doing an unbelievable job at communicating and adjusting within the play. And I love that challenge. And but that's a strength of theirs. There's no question about it. And we got a big time challenge, Saturday night in that regard.
Brent, I was wondering how much of a, revelation that Malcolm Green has been over the last month, just at how well he's picked things up, and then maybe where is he sort of in the pecking order for being able to get on the field and as somebody maybe you guys trust right now.
Yeah, so Malcolm's done just outstanding. We've played him. He and Tyler Venables have played probably at most different spots. They just have a skill set where they can play at a variety of spots. And at a young age, when you have some other guys coming back, we've been able to try to see, try them out, if you will, at different areas and find out what they're most comfortable at and where they can help us. And then as things have evolved through camp with other guys at other positions, that's played a part in it as well. But I think this week is important for Malcolm. He's been playing, at nickel. He's been playing also at a corner, both corner positions, a little bit of safety, and has done a really nice job. He's picked things up. Football's easy to him. He loves to compete. Again, the moment's not too big for him. He's a very aggressive young man. His fundamentals and technique, he was incredibly well coached in high school, and that has shown up. And under stress, those fundamentals show up. And so just to get him to play within the system, not try to do too much like a lot of young guys will try to do. And again, he's got to have a great week, just in regards to preparation to determine some of that pecking order, things of that nature. But been super proud, really pleased of Malcolm. And again, just same thing, got a great mindset and, has a go to work mentality every day. He's a grinder, loves to be coached hard, holds himself to a very, very high standard, does not have an overinflated opinion of himself. He knows exactly where he is, and he's never satisfied. He's got that attribute going for him as well, which I just love. Very, very hungry player.
We've got Nolan Turner on deck, so we'll take two more questions for Coach V.
Hey, Brent, this is David with ESPN. I wanted to ask you, I know Dabo has made a habit of talking about Isaiah last year as if when you got Isaiah Simmons, you've kind of got like three guys. So how do you replace three guys this year? Is it a matter of personnel and guys like Mike Jones being able to step in and do similar things, or do you kind of have to scheme differently because of the change in skill set there?
Well, I just would say that from year to year, everything changes, not everything stays the same. So again, our job as coaches is to identify some of those, whether it's areas of concern, or again, now it was a weakness a year ago. Now it's a strength, or again, maybe I've got a unique personnel group, and how can we best utilize the personnel and at the same time play winning football and play great defense. So I think all of those things playing into it more so than whether or not you have another Isaiah Simmons. Great question. Isaiah could do so many different things. When you have a player that can do that, it creates instant depth You know, you can get a little creative if you want. You don't have to. We felt like, you know, we needed to, and we could, but as much as anything, that's what we needed to do. And so from year to year, that's what we'll do. Mike's had a great camp, had a super spring. He's in a great place mentally. And just I'm pumped for him. And he's worked so hard beyond the football field when we've required them to be here. He's just been a great leader. He's really coming to his own. And so I'm looking forward to watching him play. And Mike can do a variety of things. He's played multiple linebacker positions for us in the past. And is just a really good football player, but he's really come to his own as a leader and whatnot. And again, we've got, you know, a lot of other young guys too. We lost some tremendous players in the secondary, but we feel really good about our two deep in particular, and a few of the guys that we've recruited as freshmen this last year. And some of that, to be honest, you know, you sometimes when there's so many unknowns, you kind of figure it out as the season goes, and then you'll start playing to your strengths, whether that's in the back end, up front, and you know, things of that nature. So, but I'm really excited about the development, you know, that Mike's had there. You know, he's done a really, really good job of you know, controlling the controllables.
We'll take one final one for Coach.
Hey, Coach. Yeah, it's David again. My question was actually going to be on the safeties. You've got a veteran guy in Nolan back there, and then a whole lot of talented youngsters. How has that kind of shaken out during camp?
We just feel like we got, you know, a number of guys that can play. That's been probably the most pleasing. That, you know, we feel rock solid about guys that are starting, and we feel really good about, you know, the other guys. So whether that's Joseph Charleston, or it's Ray, or it's you know, Tyler, or it's RJ Mickens, or trying to think who else. We got Mario's playing some nickel. We got Malcolm Green. There's a bunch of guys there. I feel like I'm missing somebody, but feel really good about, you know, that group collectively there at safety. A bunch of eager, hungry, edgy, physical guys that can run. They got length. Really, again, 3D, and we feel really, really good about that group right now.
All right.